Hello, everyone. I just clicked the volume up button to check to make sure everything was okay, and it went live right now.
Here we are.
Gen Xers and Instagram. So, you're just gonna... How do we look? Does everything look okay? Oh, is that our darling Carly? Oh, look, we have to turn the phone. See, this is good we did this.
Yeah.
We have to turn the phone this way to be able to read.
Okay.
So... Michelle from communication taught us that we could scroll down and up.
Hi,
anyway,
Owen.
we're not supposed to officially be started, but oops. Who knows that when you press the volume button up or down, it takes you live?
I didn't.
I'm glad I learned that lesson dressed, actually.
Yeah,
we're
that
very
is a
lucky
good
that
thing.
I didn't do this a half an hour
Special
ago.
show.
Exactly. All right, is it officially 9 o'clock? I mean, 7 o'clock? No, it's not. This is really bad for theater people. Hi. Hi, everyone. Okay, so, yeah, we're going live at 7, and I clicked the button a little too early. So we're just going to hang around and see, have a few more people join so they don't miss out. And then we'll explain who we are and what we're doing.
Yeah.
And why we're here. Yeah, Note to that we are not professionals at the Shaw Festival in ensemble or production in any way.
No.
So please do not take this faux pas as a reflection on the Shaw's professionalism.
Yeah, please don't.
We're the green room people. We're the cooks. So that's what you're going to get out of us. All right, it's 7. Hello, everyone. It's official.
Hi.
We're live.
We have begun.
Hi. Oh, it's Eleanor. Oh, Eleanor's one of our ushers from front of house, and her husband, Paul, they're honestly like love mentors, right?
Yes.
They're the most beautiful
Yeah.
people ever, and they
Yes,
both
they
work
are.
there and have worked there forever, and we miss you
So
terribly.
much. So
All of our
much.
front of house, so bad. Okay, welcome to the Shaw Festival's Pride celebration. I'm Jude, and this is
I'm
my
Erika.
lovely wife, Erika, and I hope you're thinking, what is this very No, I'm not. I'm trans, and Erika's pansexual, and that's why we're celebrating Pride together. We've done a lot of thinking about what Pride means. We've been through a long journey together. Erika and I have been together for 26 years and have known one another for 32. So we've seen a lot of changes in the world and been blind to a lot of necessary changes in the world. So we were talking about where we wanted to start today with all of this, and we actually just want to acknowledge the protest part of Pride. We celebrate Pride because we're celebrating the victories of the battles that we've fought and won for our human rights. Erika and I got together in 1994, right, babe?
Right, yeah.
Oh, it was the height of grunge.
Long time ago.
And, I don't know. We all thought we were hippies back then.
Yeah.
The Grateful Dead was still a thing.
Yep.
We thought the fight was ours and ours left, to fight. We thought the queer community was the last of the communities for our country, anyway, in terms of rights.
Yep.
To find out that Erika and I were together for 2 years before the last residential school was shut down has been heartbreaking for us. Being part of a minority community, you always fancy yourself being able to see things that other people don't. And it didn't happen for us. We let our ignorance and our privilege get in our way. So before we start the celebration of Pride, we're going to start the protest and challenge everyone who loves us and everyone who belongs to a minority group to really support and love and fight for one another. So we'd first like to apologize to the Indigenous community, to the BIPOC community, and for me, to the BIPOC queers, my BIPOC sisters, because if it wasn't for you, Erika and I never would have had our rights to anything. So we stand here bare and saddened in the truth that we lived in that ignorance, and we promise never ever to do it again. Yes. Our eyes are open, and they will never be closed again. Anyway, when we were approached to do this, you know, this was also another thing that's beautiful about representation is you have to make sure that you're representing a corporation or a company or somebody that you know that really believes in the values that they are pitching.
Yeah.
Pride's been a weird thing, eh? Like, remember going to Pride in 1998?
Yep.
And, you know, it still wasn't widely accepted, although it'd been going on forever. Hello. And, yeah, it just, it felt all so new and so big and so forward momentum kind of thing. And like the world was finally moving on.
Yeah, we were going forward.
Yeah, and that the celebration could just be about celebration and not about protest.
Yeah.
But that's incorrect. You know, we all have to keep protesting and keep fighting because when you don't, when you get lax and think things are okay, then another minority group is hurting, and we all have to band together for that. Yeah, so who are Erika and I, and what are we doing here?
I don't know.
They're crazy. The one thing I love about the Shaw is when we were approached to do this, somebody said, you know, you don't have to worry. Like, there's no performative things. Like, you just be yourself. And I said, oh, like, I don't think you could get anything out of Erika and I other than that. And they said back to me, that's so Shaw. So I'd like to start there. And that is so Shaw. And that's why we're choosing to do this with the Shaw Festival.
Yeah.
We're not promoting queer culture. We're not promoting the Shaw Festival. It's reaching out. Both of us reaching out and understanding that for Erika and I's story to be understood as typical, we have to do things like this. It's an education situation, you know, and it's not like we have to. We want to.
Yeah.
You know, and the Shaw Festival wants to give us a platform because they've realized in these last few years, like the rest of us as humans, we need to reach out more to communities. We need to directly reach out more. So that's what this is. So that's what today's going to be. If you have any questions about being pansexual or being transsexual, even the word transsexual I find interesting, right? Because that's something we would use that I don't think people generations under us would use. So talking about terms and everything like that is very interesting.
Yeah, there's so many of them now, and they're so different from when we first got together.
Yeah.
I mean, I was bi at that point. Like, there wasn't pan yet, and
yeah, we just learned you were pansexual.
I know,
didn't we?
I know,
It was
and
fantastic.
it was a little of a surprise.
Yeah.
I must say, it's like,
yeah, when you've identified one way forever,
okay,
and
it's only been 20 years, but okay. But that's the whole thing of moving forward and growing and learning and accepting and understanding that there's a lot of gray between the black and the white of every section of the rainbow.
That's right. Even for trans, like there's a lot of trans people that never go surgical or never go hormone replacement therapy, and the non-binary and the rainbow of all of that, you know? I think maybe sometimes people get intimidated by all of the language, like it's too many symbols and labels, and I don't understand that. But, you know, it's like everything. You don't eat a whole pizza in one bite, you know? Savor the learning of different people's communities and that kind of stuff, because there is a whole rich, diverse culture within within us. Strange for me to start presenting as straight and, you know, cis. My beard came in very quickly, so I didn't even have really an awkward transition stage.
That was quick,
fortunately, you know. But it was it's been interesting, the public acknowledgements presenting male versus female. It's it's given me quite an insight and education into life and
the
privilege.
different way people treat you.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Yeah, well, that's human nature, isn't it?
I don't know. I think that's kind of maybe taught and we can unteach that.
Well, that's true. That is true.
You know.
You can relearn anything.
Mm-hmm.
We can all grow.
Yeah.
And continue to do so.
Exactly. Yeah. So where did we start?
Okay. High school.
High school.
That's where we started.
Catholic high school.
Oh. Yep, it's true.
Yeah, all the songs about those Catholic girls. No. We were friends for 5 years.
Yeah.
Really bad friends.
Yeah.
I have to say, we were super bad friends.
He didn't even like me at first.
You were too happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it was an issue for me.
I
was
know.
a broody, moody drama kid. Yeah. We were like the original emos, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, before emo was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, on that exciting note, we met in high school. We were good friends for a really long time, and I went off to go to college, and Erika came up to visit me one weekend.
Yep.
And I moved in with her and left school like 6 months later.
Not the best of ideas.
No, but I did go back to school
here.
and got us where we were. It was on our journey.
Just different.
You were with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah, and I came out to you like a week after we got together. So Erika thought she was going from being straight to being a lesbian, and then a week later finds out she's actually, well, pansexual.
Well, yeah.
We didn't have that
Except
language
it was
then.
bi.
Yeah, that's right.
Erika's
pure sunshine. Chelsea works at our box office, and she just said Erika's pure sunshine. I'll remember that when I'm making your lunch, Chelsea.
Don't worry, I'll help. It'll be good.
So the shop festivals started outdoor rehearsals. Oh my goodness, we are so excited.
Yes.
Although it's been really hard work, I'm very sore, to be honest
I am
with you.
too. My right arm is like, still so sore.
Yeah, we work in the kitchen. Oh, look, is that Star? I miss you, Star. Oh, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so we work in the kitchen. Yep. And, we've been closed for quite a long time, so we've been industrial cleaning everything, getting ready for the day.
Everywhere.
We love you too, Eleanor, so much. Like, we miss you terribly. I can't wait to dance with Paul again.
I can't wait to see it.
We have these great dance parties at the Shaw Festival. When the world opens up, we all get together and, just have so much fun. Anyway.
Yeah. So we industrial clean the kitchen.
Yeah, we industrial clean the kitchen. Oh my God, we're just at the last section of coolers and everything right now. So all the real hard part is done.
Thank God.
Yeah. But it's been exciting too because there's a lot of new stuff going on, like all the events outside and the preparation
new stages
for the stages and oh God, that pop-up tent the boys,
a
the crew
tent.
put up. Yeah, yeah, it's fantastic.
Cool.
It's the BMO tent.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. There you go, Tina Schmidt. I remembered. Yeah, so it's been really exciting, and we've seen people from afar, you know, so like
waving
when we go out for a break, we're waving across the parking lot and everything. So it's so great to have that energy back, and we're really looking forward to being able to cook and everything and get the world back open and get the rest of everyone here, back again.
Yes.
Yeah, we love you too. I love the Shaw too. I've worked there for 8 years.
So much so.
And look at what they're doing. They're giving us the format. Oh, look, I'm moving things about. Yeah, like the Shaw. Oh, Owen Brown. Oh, are you come? I heard
Owen.
you. I miss you, Owen Brown. You better come see us.
Yes.
Yeah, so I came out at the Shaw Festival. Actually,
okay, wait. First off,
okay,
we were always out because we were a couple.
Yes.
Pre your transition.
That's correct.
So kind of always out.
Yeah.
It's just
everyone assumed we were lesbians.
Yep.
We never said we were lesbians, but everyone assumed we were lesbians. I couldn't. I was so scared. Yep. It just wasn't the time. You know, I looked into it when we were like 23. We'd been together for 2 years, 3 years already. And it was just too complicated. It was too clinical. I couldn't make my way through it.
No, it was complicated.
Yeah, it still actually is complicated.
Yeah.
Like when I'm looking for surgeries and stuff like that, I have to source everything. Like what urology department, what, you know, I have to find all the doctors and
for yourself, and instead of that being a set organized, like,
well, it's like if you go in for knee surgery, the guy goes, "This is my guy," or "This guy." You can go to these. You know, they don't say, "Oh, who are you thinking of going?" You're
exactly.
Like, and then I'm on Google reviews. Anyway.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
We'll see what we can do about that, right? I don't know. This is how we talk, people. Back and forth, jumping around.
This is why we decided to do it on one phone, because the last time we did this, we did it on 2 separate phones, and we were totally cutting one another off. Because the vibe on like the
delay,
the flow of having to talk is really
strange.
Yeah, it's unnatural. We're Gen Xers, okay? Like, God, Walkmans were the coolest thing in the world. So the fact that we're talking on a phone, really, it's just a glorified
with other people
jukebox.
Too. Like, this is so cool,
and like people we don't even know. So that's bizarrely wonderful. I hope you guys all come to the Shaw and ask to see us.
We were talking about when we joined Shaw. Thanks, Owen.
Oh, thank you, Owen. That's keep us on track. I know. Poor Diamond Hymen is joining us later, and she's so like, any talking points? And I'm like, no, we'll just leave it all loosey-goosey. So, yikes for everyone. Okay.
Back to when you joined the Shaw and you kind of came out, right?
Yeah. So, well, I didn't publicly come out until 2019. So...
After a few years.
I picked quite a fine time. Like, just before everything happened to come out. Yeah. And I came out literally 2 years ago next week. To David Ball. David Ball, I love and miss you.
Oh.
He's Ensemble, the greatest choreographer. And he did so much at the Shaw. I don't, Amanda, maybe you'll know. Is that person who does everything called the swing? Is that what it's called in theater? Anyway, David, amongst being a choreographer and everything, was the guy who did everything. Yeah. And including these spots. So, yeah, anyway, I came out to him because he was doing his Insta Live thing for Pride. And Spike was in the green room too. So I came out to David and Spike. And it was a glorious moment. And it's been really good at the Shaw in terms of acceptance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not just a blanket. Yes, thank you, Amanda. David was a swing. Oh, good. See, I'm learning something. Amanda is amongst everything. Amanda's everything. You've worked at the Shaw since you were 16, Amanda, I think. And she works for a theater company, and she's a stage manager, and she's a writer, and she's putting out her own stuff, which I'm very, very excited to see, Amanda. I can't wait. Yeah, Amanda knows of everyone, excluding my wife, because I can't say.
That's smart.
Amanda's my favorite. Don't get mad, everyone, that I've told is my favorite. Amanda knows she's my favorite. Amanda welcomed me my first shift back, and yeah, she's been my girl ever since. All right.
David Ball and Spike in the green room.
David Ball and Spike in the green room. Yeah, so the vision of the life that I had at the beginning of 2019 is just, and who I was going to be and we were going to be is so different. You're not 18 yet, are you, Amanda? No, I know you started when you were 18. Okay. Yeah, it's been so different, hasn't it?
Well, you expected it to go one way, and then things happened, and we've been home for a while.
Yeah.
Right? But everybody has been accepting and loving and considerate and have learned terms and...
What's that?
Nope.
Okay. Do I not press that?
No, I think that's for like people joining and...
Oh, okay.
Requests to join.
I don't know. Instagram is so much fun. We have no idea what we're doing. There's a little... Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the expectations of, you know, having to work through surgery and all of that kind of stuff, and all of the beginning parts of testosterone and everything like that, to have time at home has been interesting, and I guess really good for us.
Yes. It's given us the chance to go through this together.
Yeah.
Without all kinds of other things coming in at us from life and work and stress and out and about and doing and all that kind of stuff. We've been able to focus. Yeah. Which has been great, because there's been a lot of conversations that have had to happen, needed to happen. Yeah. And frankly, retrospectively, I'm really glad that have happened. Yeah. Because, it's brought us here. Yeah, exactly. So. It's just brought us closer. Because things have changed with me. Yes. I mean, a lot of it, I feel, has to do with the confidence that I now have. You know, like, I'm not in this state of inertia anymore, where there's no forward momentum in my life, right? So, that's changed, but that's also changed my personality, in that I'm a lot more, You don't hold back. No. Not like you really did before, but like now he really doesn't hold back. I'm not yelly or anything like that. No, I'm just not but the opinions flow. Duper passive anymore. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is good, and I'm glad for it. It is. Because it's the true you, and yeah, it's been freeing that way. Yeah. It's great to finally find your voice, you know, and to have it, but I wouldn't have been able to have it, like, without your love and support and stuff, and the community as a whole. Like, I remember the first Pride Erika and I went to was 1998, and God, we had so much fun. It was we rented out this like floor with all of our friends from Mohawk, like Ryerson. Was it Ryerson? I think so. It was we rented out a dorm floor. It was great. And, kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms, bathrooms. What a great time to be young. It was fun. Yeah, it was so good. But the most poignant part of Pride, like, the thing that sticks with me all those years later, because that was a heck of a long time ago, 1998. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I guess. I don't know. It seems pretty clear in my mind. But... I know. I've kind of like skipped to like in my brain where it's like 2012 again. Like I've inverted the 2-1, and it's like 2012. We're not that long ago. Not that far off from 98. Oh God, getting old is weird like that. Yeah, but the most... It is. Poignant part for me was there was this huge, like during the parade, a huge band of women coming down, well, and men, and it was the P Flag group, right? And they were all walking and all looking us in the eye and everything, and I started crying because I come from a very loving and accepting family, but back then it took a while for people to wrap their heads around it, you know? Yeah. It wasn't easy, and we are where we are now through faith and patience and gratitude, and education. But back then it wasn't easy, and all these bunch of mothers come walking down, and one of them sees me crying, and she looks right at me and she says, "We love you." And she comes over and leans over the barrier and hugged me for like 10 minutes. So when she stood there and hugged him. Yeah. And just didn't let go. No, she didn't. She totally mamaed me. So when we do things like this, you know, I think of her all the time. I think of those moments, you know, and that's what it means really to be an advocate, right? Yeah. Like I love... And I do it too, like with other minority communities. We can put the banners on our Facebook page, but that is not action, people. Marching is action. Money is action. Donating is action. Advocation, education, those are all action-orientated things that we have to do for one another. That's right. So if you have somebody that's in our community that you support, a little more than a banner, maybe go to a P Flag meeting and see, because they're the ones
with the resources
Exactly. Yeah.
that
absolutely.
can kind of help you.
Yeah.
Like, because we've come a long way. Like, there used to be that gay bar. Gusto's, yeah. There used to be a gay bar in Niagara region called Gusto's, and it was a pretty cool bar.
It was fun.
Oh my God, is that Diamond Hymen? Yes, darling. How do I do that? How do we do that? Do I just press this button with a 1? If I disappear,
we're sorry.
We're sorry.
No.
I don't do that. I cancel. Am I still live? Is everyone?
I think
still
we're
there?
Here.
Okay.
It says live.
Yeah,
so...
it does. Okay. Oh, did I do this? Okay, I'm just gonna grab the phone for a second because our friend Diamond Hymen is here. So we have to figure out.
Okay.
Oh no, I meant action. You wish, darling. We pledged monogamy a long time ago. Yeah. Blah blah blah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that brings me to a funny point. When we moved to Hamilton, because going to Hamilton from the Niagara region,
I need my glasses if we're
was okay. You're still putting on your panties. Oh, she wears panties. Oh, that's a definite
Good
no,
girl.
then, darling. Yeah. Oh, so Gusto's. Let's go back to Gusto's. So.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a gay bar, and it was great. But, the Niagara region, it couldn't keep a gay bar because it kept getting bricks thrown through the windows.
Yeah, there was lots of intolerance.
They couldn't get insurance. So, yeah, it was a weird time to be in our community. Yeah. Erika and I moved to Hamilton, and wow, what a cool city Hamilton is. Shout out to all my Hamilton peeps. I love you all madly. What a great blend of steel town and acceptance, A lot of great times in Hamilton for sure.
Hi, Stewie. Stewie's back.
Oh, yeah, it's our cat.
Okay, so Gusto's couldn't open. That kind of ties into what just happened downtown, too. The intolerance.
Yeah, and this is why we do these things, right?
You've come so far, and yet...
Yeah, like people think, oh, that's silly. Why spend all this money for a city, for a pride crosswalk? That's our tax dollars going to waste. Yeah. But what happened, because here in St. Catharines, somebody spun their tires all over it and ruined it. Yeah. Right? So it's destroyed. That's why we need them. That's the whole point. Look, intolerance still happens. Oh my God, my battery should run out soon. Erika, you have to go grab a cord.
I'll be back, guys.
Yeah, so that's why we still have to do what we do. We still have to put the sidewalks up and all of that kind of stuff, because without it, then nobody will know that the fight still has to be had, right? Without all of the protests for every minority group. If we don't stand up and protest, then the community that's not in our community doesn't know that this kind of stuff is going on. And that's where this has been hard for me, actually, to do this whole thing, because I'm a white trans male. I present as a white male. My life is very typical. And when I was asked to do this and asked to bring on some friends, I was like, absolutely, but we need diversity, right? Diversity is the key to all things beautiful. And this is the hard part. Because this is when I realized that I had no BIPOC friends in the queer community. I've been in the queer community for a long time, and I don't have one really good BIPOC friend that I could invite to do this spot with me today. God, it's wrong. It's wrong on so many levels, and I hope that changes. So, if anyone's willing to make new friends and wants one, we're right here. And we're willing to be open and learn your experiences, because, oh crap, we know ours have been greatly different. All right.
Like that.
Oh, thank God for wives. Anyway, I'm going to turn this sideways, I guess. Eh?
Yeah.
Isn't there a way that we can view those things sideways?
I don't know. Why aren't the words going sideways too? No, not live video. Okay.
Okay. All right. So we won't. You can just read the questions sideways.
Okay. I can do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Owen's laughing at us. Yeah, that's
Yay,
applicable.
Owen. Yeah, it's a thing. Okay, we'll try this with the cord like this. Okay. So how did we get to the Shaw Festival, honey?
You.
Oof, that was
You
a
brought us
journey.
there.
Yeah.
Is your phone orientation locked?
Look at you talking about my phone orientation, Owen Brown.
It's
Is there such a
possible.
thing? Look, I'm learning new things all the time. Phones have orientations.
Yeah. And no, it did turn the picture, it just doesn't turn the wording.
Yeah.
So, like, the words are all coming, like, as if it was up and down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's... Anyway, we'll figure it out. My phone might just drop occasionally, but, you know, what do you expect?
live.
We're not professionals.
No.
They wanted us to be our authentic selves, because that
Voila.
is the Shaw way. So, yeah.
Yeah, so you brought us to the Shaw.
Yeah.
You started years before I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I worked for a great company that I love tremendously. Hi, everyone from Water Superstore. Love you guys. They were my first work family here in St. Catharines. And I had a great career with them. But it was a front of house career in terms of sales and management and that kind of stuff. And when I thought about coming out, although they were the most open-minded and lovely people and they would have loved every minute of it and they wouldn't have cared, I was scared about the interpersonal relationships that I had formed on a sales perspective, how that might change and might adversely affect their company.
Yep.
So, you know, being trans has affected a lot. My career, you know, my choices in my career, and as a result, your career.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it brought me to the Shaw. Which I'm very grateful for, because there's a lot of great people there that I get to see and love and care about and talk with, and that are accepting and non-judgmental, which is refreshing.
Yeah, I love that we're all just a little bit off at the Shaw. Which makes us all seem normal. It's kind of that beautiful thing of the Shaw Festival, you know?
It is.
The great thing about being in the green room is we get to see every department.
Yeah.
You know, well, every department that eats our food. So if we don't know you, you should be coming down to the green room stat. Yeah, so, you know, we get a wide array of people, too, because it takes a lot to put on a theater. You know, there's the production in the back of house and wigs and wardrobe, and but then all the executive team, all the artistic team, but then all the sales team.
Yeah.
And really, during all of this, especially the sales team, eh?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Like, box office.
Box office.
We love you, box office. I mean,
So
they're
appreciative.
the frontline warriors, and they're the ones that have been, you know, helping
Keeping it
really
going.
keep the Shaw Festival touching base with its patrons over this last little while. So I'm going to say this live on camera because my boss can't stop me right now, but everyone from box office, Wes Brown owes you an entree. Because they deserve it. I mean, they worked really, really, really hard for us, and working from home isn't easy. And oh gosh,
no, it isn't.
Especially answering phone calls when you don't have proper things to tell them, right? And that's kind of been the beauty of how things are at the Shaw. Everyone just kind of gets it done.
Yep. Just keep going with the flow and the ebb of whatever comes next.
Yeah. And I'm really happy that they've chosen to do a spotlight like this year with Trans Visibility Day and, you know, putting such an effort into Pride this year. It means something.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Matters. It's funny when, like, you go into a Shoppers Drug Mart and you see a rainbow, and it's like this mass commercialization of something that used to be almost hidden. Like, remember we used to
underground
pack our... Yeah, like, when we first moved to Hamilton, that bookstore.
Oh, it was an underground bookstore. You had to go down a set of stairs to get to their front door. It was like, I don't know.
It was like a little cave.
Yeah.
It had that feeling. Anyway, it was so...
But it had everything you could possibly want.
Yeah, it was so urban for us Niagara kids.
It was more than books.
Yeah. And when you went in, there was literally everything gay. I'd never seen anything like it.
No, there was nothing like that around here.
But that's funny how, when you think back, like even then with the community, how much the community has changed too. Because remember,
what do you mean?
We remember that book we got? It was literally what do you call it? Like an A to Z book.
Yeah.
Of definitions of our community, and it was so. Like, if do we still have that?
Oh God, I don't know.
Okay, because that's like kind of like
historical,
gay antique stuff. That's like encyclopedias that you have like from the 40s kind of thing.
I'll be looking for it now.
Oh, it was so the boxes that our own community put ourselves in even then.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Was talking about how in our, like, for M is for monogamy, and monogamy
isn't necessary.
Yeah, well, isn't really a thing in our...
Not a requirement?
Yeah.
Is that the wording?
Well, yeah, and I guess now we could take it as, it's not a requirement unless you choose, but the way it was
that's
worded...
for everybody.
Yeah, the way it was worded was more like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's not our thing, like, not our scene, and you and I were like, no, that's not happening for us. Yeah.
Oh, there was... Yeah, it's changed a lot over the years.
Yeah.
Right?
It has. Yeah, and a lot has changed for the better. Mm-hmm. For a lot of our community. For a lot of our community, it hasn't, Yep. And that's...
there's a lot still to do.
Really what we have to keep focused on.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so we went to school in Hamilton. Mm-hmm. And...
We did. Post-secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had a good time. Actually, one of our good friends, Danielle Gaeta. Hi, Danielle.
Hey, Danny.
If you're watching, we love you. Along with, she really started Mohawk Pride, and we helped her start Mohawk Pride.
Yep.
And, yeah,
that was the beginning of it.
Yeah.
They didn't have one yet.
No,
there
they didn't
needed
have
to be
one.
something.
And there wasn't enough out people in Mohawk yet.
Not yet.
That we begged all of our straight friends to sign the petition. So we had enough people to make a group.
Yep.
So the first few meetings, half of the people were straight.
Yep.
That's being an ally.
Yes.
That's how you get it done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly how it's done.
Yeah. And then we lived in Hamilton for quite a long time. And then had to move back home because it was that time to move back home.
Yes.
Yeah, we had our fun.
Yeah.
And time to get serious.
Be grown.
Yeah. So how has the last 2 years with me being on hormone replacement therapy been for you? Like...
Well, there's been a huge learning curve, personally, for me, because you've become... Well, okay, so you're more open with how you feel about things, and you don't have a problem speaking on it, which is good. But you've become... There's things that are sensitive. So I have to be mindful and make sure that I'm being respectful of what's good for you and where you are, right? So there's the yin and the yang, but honest to God, the best part is you, being you, and getting to see you and not have any refrain in your life. It's great. And I'm really grateful. I'm really glad.
Good, because I know this just isn't my journey, right? Like,
no, it's not.
It's our journey.
It
Clearly
is.
our journey,
Yeah.
But it's also one of those things that I have to stay focused on myself as well, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
So that's been kind of a weird thing for me on that level, in that my focus deliberately is always being somewhere else, and for the last 2 years it's clearly and directly been on me.
So it should.
But I feel like I can give, honestly, more of myself. Like, I'm not tired anymore. Being in the closet, you know, presenting as somebody I wasn't, going to work every day for 8 hours a day is, like, literally mentally exhausting, you know? And,
I can only imagine.
Yeah, so to have more energy to think about positive things has been really, really relieving.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I do see that in you. And that does radiate from you. Like, you're truly your authentic self in every way, every day kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know? And that's it's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's relieving because, I mean, everyone who's watching now knows me. Like, I haven't changed that much, you know? Like, my physical appearance is probably the biggest change in me.
Yeah, definitely that is different.
Yeah. But there is a change, you know, and I feel it. But I also feel this weird sense of, like, I don't know how to say it.
Weight off your shoulders?
A weight off my shoulders and a responsibility, honestly, to be better to myself now, like never before.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Like, I have to do better. I have to be better. I have to be more aware of everything around me and the people around me, and be more sensitive, and, you know.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's interesting time to conceptualize about what it is to be a man, especially at this day and age, what it is to be a white man, right? Because I have to think about that and, you know, conceptualize that. And that's something that the Shah has given me too, that's beautiful, because there's not this clear and direct thing like TC, our artistic director, was talking to me one day, and he was saying, how are things going? Like, how are you doing? And I said, okay. And this was like literally a year and a half ago. So just at the start of me doing HRT, I said, okay, but I'm constantly putting my hands on my hips, and I got to stop doing that. And he looked at me so seriously, and he said, why? And I said, well, it's not very manly. And he says, who's to say it's not manly? Who's to say it's not manly? Men put their hands on their hips all the time. Don't conform to a stereotype. You be you, no matter what that is, right? And I thought, wow, that's so amazing. And same with Eileen, right?
Yeah.
Eileen, who is a vocal coach at the Shaw Festival and everywhere else in I think, theater. I asked her about my voice, like, you know, because it pitches, right? It ranges high and low depending on when I get excited and everything. And she said, oh, my lovely human, because that's what she calls me, and I love it. It doesn't matter. She said, close your eyes and listen to all the men's voices that come in this room, and they're all so different. And listen to my voice. My voice is deep for a woman's voice. Like, I still sound like a woman. Like, and she told me not to stress about that. So those are nice things to be able to have.
Definitely.
At the theater, like, those perspectives, because they think about what it is to be those things all the time, too, from an artistic point of view, right?
Exactly. Yeah, they do.
But that's also, that thought process has also given me a little bit of solemnness, you know, a little bit of weight, a little bit of responsibility. And so I just want to make sure I do all of that justice.
Yeah. Well, this is a good way to start.
It is. So what's next for us?
Oh, God, I don't know. In what respect? Right now? Where are we going with this?
Like, okay, so we bought our dream house.
Oh, okay. Yep.
We had a grandbaby.
Oh, she's so cute.
Oh my God. we can't, but she's delicious and all the things. And, you know, we're pretty much settled. So now we just got surgeries to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this last winter I had both my knees replaced, so I'm ready to help care for you when you get your things done.
Yeah, so we've literally got years worth. Like, December 2019, I had my top surgery, and then Erika had her knees done.
My left, and then my right.
Last winter, and I've just put in all of the extensive paperwork for my bottom surgery. So I had to go do 3 90-minute sessions. Was it two 90-minute sessions. I had to write 3 psychological tests.
Yep.
And answer over 500 questions to get the approval of my psychologist to be able to apply for bottom surgery. So, yeah, that was a lot of hoops to jump through. I'm proud to say that I fit in the range of normal. I'm normal of normal, whatever that means. So it took $1,300 day off of work, my psychologist writing 4 pages for me to validate that I am who I say I am for the approvers of the surgery.
Yeah.
And I had to say, kind of hard reading it back, you know, what she had to write, because it was like, from an early age, Mr. Jones liked to play with Hot Wheels. He wore jeans. He played sports. He rode a BMX bike, right? And these are indicators for the penis approvers, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, check. He liked to play with bikes. He liked trucks.
Yeah. It's still the stereotyping going on.
Oh my God, it pisses me off so much, because I still could have been a trans boy who played with dolls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I want people to understand that. Even people from my past. You look at me and you try and find markers. Like, oh yeah, that's the clear. Remember that time he...
It all makes sense.
Yeah, wanted a BMX so bad instead of the Schwinn bikes that everyone was getting, right? Or he never wanted to play with Barbies. Or that one time my mom bought me a Barbie camper and I used it as a Hot Wheels storage center. And then I rode on it in my basement because it was pretty big, so I could like surf on it, you know? But those are indicators that people are looking at me at and saying, oh, yep, you're valid. You can't do that. That's not acceptance. That's you trying to justify my existence. And you have to stop. You know, if you do it, you have to stop.
Yeah.
You just have to take people at their word.
Yeah.
You know? Just
like,
take people at their...
Especially for things like surgery. It's no small thing to take on, to do, the responsibility of it, the after effects of it, the recovery for it. It's not a small thing. Yeah. You're not going to apply for it.
No. And I get running me through the psychological tests. And once they say I'm approved, she shouldn't have to write a cover letter.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have to write a cover letter. That's essentially what it is, right? A cover letter, like, oh, just so you know, this is why we're justifying this. It's so painful.
Yeah.
You know, it's just another clear indicator that there's that understanding, but there's so much more room to grow.
Yeah. Well, it's understanding within a box. And it's not a box.
And that's right.
There are no walls. There's no box.
Definitely. Yeah. But then when I think of, oh my God, like when I proposed to you, it was 1999 because we were scared the world was going to end.
Yep. 2000. Oh.
Remember we stayed in.
Yep. Heck yeah. We got candles. We got canned food.
We totally
did the whole
got.
thing. Well, I did the whole thing. He let me.
Exactly.
Because, you know.
Oh, is that my girl?
Hey.
Oh, darling. Oh, yes. Hymen. Diamond's here to see us. Diamond, are you there, darling? Did I do it right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Go live with. Oh, wait, there it is.
There she is.
Hello, hello, hello.
How are you?
Oh, you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You really
Oh,
do.
I'm just dressed so casually. I don't know what you're talking about.
I want to change my mind on that last question. You said no.
Yeah, I forewent the panties, so if you're still into it, I mean.
Amazing. We'll be right up, love.
No, it's been so beautiful listening to you both. As I've powdered my nose, I was listening to everything you said, and it was really, I can definitely appreciate how beautiful this is and how amazing it is that the Shaw has given this platform, because just hearing these stories, even something, that seems kind of mundane about someone's life, I think is a really important part of queer history and a queer experience that a lot of people don't understand. So thank you. Oh,
Thank you, darling. Yeah, I think that's what's cool about the Shaw, that they're doing this too, and that's what needs to be done more, is our community is often looked at through the looking glass kind of thing, from a real clinical point of view, or an academic point of view, or even an artistic point of view. And oftentimes we're missing just the human story. And you are fabulous and you dress fabulous, but you are a human, and this is your human life, right? So tell us who you are, what you do.
My name is Hymen, and I'm a drag performer. I'm an artist, like you said, and for queer people, putting on a show is kind of what we do for a lot of our lives. We have to put on a mask and change our behaviors and how we speak and act and think, and drag, really, for me at least, is just kind of taking that to the extreme. It's saying, yeah, I do pretend my whole life, but is this more honest than my regular day self? Like, who knows?
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, you're owning it, right? It's almost like a take back of our own art and our own culture, and
all the parts,
and of who we are, And drag culture's been very interesting for me over the years, because we're in Hamilton at a time where there was the classic bull dykes and, very label-y, boxy time in our community. And it's not like drag queens were having anything to do with butchy-looking lesbians, right?
Did you find there was a lot of, was it kind of a one-way prejudice for you, or did you feel like both communities kind of separated from one another?
No, I think, honestly, for me, I can speak of me, but I wasn't a lesbian, right? They thought I was a lesbian, but I revered drag queens. Drag queens were the ones who got us everything. Like Eric and I were just talking about how I proposed in 1999. We still had no idea when we were going to legally allowed to be married. It wasn't even a thought. It was just more of a symbolism. But boy, did I get myself into a sticky wicket.
And you're still
see language like that, sticky wicket, is why you work at the Shaw Festival. I mean, you've been watching a couple too many George Bernard productions.
That's right. It's all the matches, all the cricket matches. There's nothing more small town than playing cricket on your off day. I love it.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see how the community kind of, in its diversity, put people in boxes. And, nowadays, I mean, you still see some of these categories existing, but I mean, for gay men especially, at least you can, for gay men, there's still that twink and the bear and everything. But for the rest of the community, I feel like it's kind of melding in a few ways. Like queer is a big term these days. That's something I use for myself.
Me too. I call myself queer all the time. Like, that's who I identify mostly as, because when I wasn't out of the closet, that was an appropriate label that I felt comfortable using. So that's,
Yeah. Well, and like recently I made a post on Instagram, and I would just kind of labeled it gender, queer, non-binary, whatever. And I don't know if people thought I was like coming out as something, which made me feel kind of awkward. And it was like, no, I've just always not been really, I've never really identified with men, and I don't identify with being a woman either. So for myself, it's just, I've always been non-binary. And queer is a good way to just blanket that and be like, I don't really know where I fall, and I don't really have to, at least at this time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, you know.
And you don't
And I
ever
think-
have to.
No.
And that can change too, darling, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. You can be one category one day and the next category the next. It's your life.
Category is?
The category is. Yeah. What do I feel like today? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
But I think that's the beauty in it, is that I think a lot of people, there's a lot of stigma about people transitioning and then untransitioning, and then people use that as a reason to invalidate, transness. And it's like, the reality is that we're trying to fit ourselves in these binary boxes, but we don't fit in them. A lot of people don't anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no wonder that people kind of fluctuate and try out things. We just have to use labels that other people will accept.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So
Yeah, ones that won't harm another community inadvertently, kind of thing, with the whole detransitioning and transitioning. Like I was saying to Erika earlier, like I just applied for bottom surgery, and I had to get 2 approvals, and one of them was a WPATH assessment or something. And it was like over 500 questions and like 3 psychological exams. And I'm normal. I'm normal as normal can be. And I was so proud. I just wanted to send it to my mother, but I didn't. Anyway.
But that's I mean, like, what is the point, of those questionnaires? Like, what are they trying to get out exactly to validate yourself? Like,
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I didn't mind so much the psychological questionnaires. It was the cover page of her letter that she has to pitch to them.
Yeah.
Right? So it was
It's a
like
requirement.
it was like, Mr. Jones has felt this way from the age of 10. He liked to play with trucks. He liked to wear jeans. And this is markers. And it pisses me off because I still could have been a trans boy who played with Barbies.
Yeah.
Right?
exactly. And how does that make me more of a man or whatever for having, like, I played with Barbies. I danced. I did all this stuff. So it's like, I mean, look at me now. Like, I'm a man,
Exactly. A beautiful man.
Yes.
But it's so sad to hear that you have to not only be misgendered, but have to, like, validate your experience when you're an adult. I mean, like, who are they? Why are they more qualified to determine whether this is okay than yourself? Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I read, like,
Strange.
I really, how funny silly things get you on the internet. Like, you just read this little, like, meme or something, and it's like, but then it, like, really, like, sticks with you. It's the left-handed thing. I cannot get around. It's the left-handed argument. Trans people, non-binary people, all of us in our rainbow diamond, it's the left-handed argument, right? People understand, I understand that people write with left hands sometimes because that's the way their brains are wired. I don't have to understand how their brains are wired just to accept that that's how their brains are
They use
wired.
their left hand to
I mean, I don't even know how my brain's wired, so
Well, you're
how is anyone else
ambidextrous. There's nothing wrong with that. That's multi-talented. Yeah, so...
Yeah, I think that's an interesting example because nowadays, especially, like, who cares about left-handedness?
That's right.
But
And the people who argued against it seem almost barbaric, don't they? Like, you tried to force your kid to be right-handed, like,
Yep.
So that's where I want our community to get to.
And did either of you have a particularly religious upbringing, or?
I did not. I mean, my family was accepting of all religions and all people and denominate. None of that made a difference as to whether you were going to be in our lives or not. But no, I did not go to church or have a faith.
I grew up very religiously. but wonderfully religiously. I'll say, like, I grew up in the Catholic Church. Oh, my love. We could go on forever about them, but we won't. And so, hearing in church, I was just at the age where the Catholic school high schools were all private, and I was just at the age where we were discussing about going public. So I actually heard the argument from a Christian point of view of the dangers of the Catholic school going public, because then we might be exposed to all the
rabble,
other things.
Yeah, the open-mindedness of the rest
queers.
of the world. Exactly. Yeah, it wasn't easy for me to take, but religiously, my parents were always just a live and let live, and it's between you and God, what you do, and nobody else's business, and that's how you treat everyone. But there was some major reconciling with I'm still a Christian, so I see the reports of all those poor Indigenous kids, and it's hard to be a Christian, and it's hard to be trans, and it's hard to be a trans Christian. It's a weird spot.
Yeah. That's it. That's the important thing about identity, is that, there's a lot of intersectionality, and everyone has a different background. I mean, you can be trans or queer and still strongly identify with your faith and your spiritual background. And, a lot of times it's about action. You were talking about action earlier, and it's about what are you saying? What are you promoting when you're part of this community? Are you allowing people to be, queerphobic? Are you allowing people to be hateful? And if you are, then, I mean, at that point for me, I beg you to question like what you're doing,
Exactly.
I don't,
yeah,
like, I don't care if you that is a very important part of your life. It's more about, are you allowing people, it's kind of like, people talk about being like women who are in a relationship with homophobic men. And this is talked about a lot as like a trope, where you'll have a woman who's like very gay friendly, and then their partner, who is a man, is very homophobic. And it's like, at what point can you be considered an ally if the person you share your home with, the person closest to you is a bigot? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Those moments should make you change, like it made me change. Now I go to a non-denominational church, right? And, and that's the sad thing about the Catholic Church in particular. In my family, I'm the youngest of 7. And my parents were devout Catholics and taught us all the good bits of it,
Yep.
But, none of us go.
Nope.
Because they didn't change. They didn't grow. They didn't learn, and once we saw, you can't unsee, so you have to change. And so that's what we did.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? Is religion have had any stigma on or any bearing on your journey?
Does it look like it? I grew up in Virgil, so a very big Mennonite community, and I went to a Mennonite church. And obviously, I mean, it's not obvious, but I guess I'm not an expert, but the Mennonite community is kind of different levels of faith, right? There's some that are a bit more particular about how people have to live, and others that are not. And I had a very welcoming community. I really enjoyed church. I left the church because partially because I had OCD, and just as a queer kid, I think I internalized too much of it. I thought if I did anything wrong, I was going to hell, and blah blah blah. And little did I know that I was going to go there, anyway. But
in a blaze of glory.
Exactly. But like I had a very pleasant time, and that's why I think I have a lot of patience for religious folks, because, and not in a condescending way, I understand that people can be really good and kind people, but if you use your faith as a way to excuse your bigotry, then you're not good people, you know?
Yeah.
Correct.
And
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
like all the nice, you know, old ladies, everyone I went to church with, they were just so nice. I probably looked like a little gay boy flouncing about,
Mm-hmm.
and I never felt any kind of prejudice from them. So for that, at least, I mean, compared to sport environments where I felt very ostracized
Yeah.
and, you know, very inadequate in a lot of ways, the church, I personally did not feel that. So,
Okay.
um,
Yeah, that
but
must have been hard for you, love. Hey, like, that's what we were talking about, like the stereotypical attributes of this is manly. And it's like none of that is true, but you really, there's a lot of pressure, isn't there, young to conform like that?
yeah. Well, I think like for me, I dissociated a lot as a kid. Like I would kind of separate myself from my environment because I don't even know how to really understand what I did, but I just would go off into my own fantasy world to escape what was around me because it just didn't feel right, like something was off. And to be honest, it was probably a lot of people talking shit about me and you know, looking at me like I was a freak.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just separated myself and then I didn't notice it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Survival technique.
Yeah, disassociation is a huge thing.
Yeah.
You know, I disassociated completely from my own body, you know, and didn't take care of it as a result because I wanted nothing to do with it, kind of thing. So, yeah, everyone goes, like, I think a lot of people in our community go through that weird journey of. But isn't that interesting, love? Because you wonder if you would be you without that. And that's what always fascinates me about art is I feel to fuel great art like you are presenting right now, there has to be some sort of underlying torture, which is
Struggle.
terrible. Yeah.
The angst of life.
Sorry?
I said the angst of life, right? Like it gives you a platform to work from and hurt to build on and show, no, you don't win that way. And
yeah.
Exactly. And I'm one of those people who I love when I find out that an environment is homophobic because I want to infiltrate it. You know, like I want to get in there and I want to exist in that space and make them realize that like I'm just a person. And I've had so many situations, and I don't know how well I pass necessarily as, you know, as a straight person or whatever, but I've been in a lot of environments, especially in Niagara actually, where people just assume you're straight. And or at least for myself, but you can kind of pick up some people think something's off about you, but people will say the most horrendous stuff. I've had people say horrible things to me about gay people. And I don't know if it's pointed, like they're trying to make send a message to me or something, but you start working somewhere and then people get to know you as a person, and then I'll start bringing out the queerness. I'll start, you know, dyeing my hair, wearing earrings, and like, you know, kind of playing with my gender. And I've had people come up to me and be like, I hate when they do this, but they'll be like, oh, you know, I had these misconceptions about queer people until I met you. And part of me is like, you know, like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But part of me thinks that maybe that's a position I'm comfortable putting myself in where I can break those barriers for people. And when I'm in drag, I don't do it so politely, you know.
You don't have to, honey. That's the beauty of you. The beauty of queens. Oh,
yes.
To only be able to talk like a queen for a day if we could.
There's something about throwing on the costume, you know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe you'll put me in drag one day. Get me ready for a drag snag.
I love it. Well, and that's what's so interesting about the Shaw is I was looking at photos and years ago. I don't know if you remember this, but they were doing that cabaret show. I think it was Jay and Paul, that like German cabaret.
Yeah.
And they had a number of the front house staff dress up in costume.
Yeah, it was like Whiskey Bar, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And they had, originally they approached me and said I was going to be dressed as a woman. And I was so like excited, and I don't think they understood how that like how impactful that was. I think they just thought it was like, oh, a man dressed as a woman, woo! And for me, that was like a beautiful opportunity for me to show up to work, be asked to show up to work dressed as a woman. And I was nervous, but I was over the moon. And I remember I got, sized, they put on a dress for me, they tried on an outfit. I couldn't wait.
Did you get fitted in the whole thing? Oh, darling, I didn't know that happened. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and then apparently, I'm not pointing fingers at the Shaw. I don't know who decided this, but someone in the upper echelons decided that it wasn't a good idea, and they canceled it and threw me in some boy schmuck whatever.
I remember you in like a chimney sweep hat or something. That's why I was like, I don't remember that at all. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I had this beautiful like black flapper kind of 1920s dress. Or late. Yeah.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, it was and when they canceled that, I don't think they understood. Like, again, I think because transness is a comedy trope so often where it's, someone cross-dressing, yuck, yuck, yuck. When they asked me to do it, it was very personal and very exciting. And when they canceled it, it was devastating to me.
Yeah.
And
because it's not performative.
Yes.
It's not all performative, right?
Exactly.
So it's just like not saying to somebody you can't do this show. It's especially in your workplace.
Yeah.
Yeah. The message was that it's not okay for you to look like a woman because you're not a woman, and therefore like it's not acceptable.
Yeah.
And I don't think they understand how much power you would have serving patrons who are probably homophobic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be honest. A lot of the patrons of the show are homophobic. And when they come up to you and you are the one serving them, you are the one who is in between their drink and the show, and they have to go through you. And, it doesn't matter what they feel about you, but, here I am.
That's right.
And when they took that away, that was like, a little jab. So
yeah, that would have been hurtful because it was a moment for you to represent, and honestly, for a moment, a lost opportunity for them to push the envelope. Mm-hmm. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And look at us now, darling. I mean, I got to save this. This is going to be on for all eternity. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I should add that like the Shaw has done a great job. Like there was that show Jonathan Tan was in a couple of years ago, and I don't remember the name, but when he played a woman character, and it didn't. That for me was like a perfect queerness where you weren't really sure what the angle of that choice was, but you had to deal with it.
That's
you
right.
had to accept that identity in front of you, and it was really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I love that they're starting to do that, and like all of us, you see over the last 5 years, there's been an awakening, especially after the pandemic, right? We have to do more.
Yes.
We have to be better.
Definitely.
We
need to hold ourselves and one another accountable
next week,
now.
Peter Hinton's got an amazing lineup of a whole bunch of diverse stuff that he's going to do for the queer community for the Shaw Festival. So it's great to see us, all bend and sway together. Mm-hmm. There's moments for our communities that we have to stand like an oak, firm in our convictions and not move. And then other times we got to be palm trees and all work together, Yeah. And I think that's happening.
It is.
We're trying to make it happen anyway.
Yes.
I want next
year. As long
year.
as I get to be a tree, so.
Yeah, there you go. Whichever tree you like, whichever time you like. Too, darling. Yeah. Anytime.
That's what being queer is all about, is choosing
you can be
your
both
tree.
trees if you want it once, actually. Well, what are you doing now? I guess what's happening with Drag in Hamilton, Drag Toronto? Why are you not on Drag Race Canada? What's going on with that?
Well, I mean, who says I'm not? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yes, girl.
Um, well, actually, we just did a live, like we filmed Hamilton Pride in a venue, and they're going to air it later this month. So
So we'll look
we
out
are
for that
doing,
at Hamilton Pride. We would look out for that at Facebook.
yeah. So they're doing that show, and then I think, a lot of queens are doing stuff, or a lot of performers rather are doing stuff online. But I've seen a lot of creative ways. I think my cousin in London posted on Instagram a video of getting a birthday, like what are those called? A birthday gram?
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And this drag queen I know, her name's Phoenix in London. She had a gymnast mat on like in the middle of the road and was doing a show and like doing drop splits and stuff on this mat with a speaker, and it was like a
Wow.
birthday gram.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. What a great idea. That is such a good idea. All right. See, the creativity reigns free, doesn't it? Yeah, good.
Exactly. And I think that's like queer people will find any way they can to kind of share themselves. So,
Yeah.
but of course, I think a lot of performers have suffered through the pandemic. So I don't want to romanticize it and be like, we'll find a way.
Yeah. No, it's tough. And it's tough being queer and artistic too, because a lot of times the queer community doesn't have family support, so there's a lot of people that are literally so artistic, and having to work 4 or 5 jobs in our community just to stay afloat, and they're lucky if they get 1 or 2 hours of art, a night.
Yeah.
And I know that you probably fit in that category right now, love, but for now.
Yeah, I'm literally a closet queen right now, where I'm just in my bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least you're still a queen.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
You're still our queen.
And fabulous at it.
We love you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much for joining us, darling.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. And also, I really appreciate you giving Amanda and who else did you say? You said they were your favorites,
And Eleanor.
Yeah.
but I know that secretly I am.
Shh. You'll break poor wee Amanda's heart. Oh, the lies I've told at the Shaw Festival. I'll have no friends by the time this finishes airing.
I mean, the way you've just been doling out those first place prizes.
I know. I usually just
I
say it
love everyone.
in the green room, and nobody knows, and nobody's none the wiser. Oh, well. Secrets revealed. I'm trans, and I love everyone.
This is why people are so scared of pride,
That's right. Exactly.
Love.
Yeah. It's not the leather boys. Oh.
No.
Okay, well, you have yourself a great day. You stay in contact with me, eh?
Mhm.
And this
Of
is
course.
easy. We should do this. Maybe start like a queer chat, a monthly queer chat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll plug it.
Like a queer and beer,
Yes. Yeah, we could do it in the green room. Ooh. I'd have to get a liquor license and all that. Anyway.
I meant to ask, actually, you were talking before about you were going to do like a barbecue outside. Are you still going to do that, or?
You know what? I've kind of I don't know about that, because it's supposed to be very, very hot out.
Mm.
I want to stand in my chef jacket in the blazing sun barbecuing all day long. We're going to do, like Juliana and I, because, Juliana's the master of all things front of house. She wants a really great charcuterie board, so we're coming up with, well, we've got it laid out now, but we're coming up with some bento boxes, a charcuterie board, some different things.
Yeah.
So it's going to be all new menu upstairs at the cafe, so you'll have to come just to eat for that reason.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be back in August. I'm in Hamilton right now, but I'll be back in Niagara in August. So
Excellent.
Excellent.
I don't know if you said already, but so there is the Shaw doing shows this year?
They are, absolutely. We're in rehearsals right now, and I think the first show, I want to say, previews, I think, start the middle of July, or no, and then we open, like, shows start opening the end of July.
Yeah.
So they have, like, these great tents. They put these great tents on the ground, Diamond. You should see it. It actually looks gorgeous. Like, every morning I cry because we're coming from the parkway and I can see the tent. It's just like this symbol of hope out in the field, and I'm crying every morning. It's ridiculous. So, yeah. Yeah, so it's going to be a thing. So you come see us in August.
Oh, yeah.
I will. I might not be so legal, but I will sneak in. I'll be in my hetero garb.
Okay. Well, I'll look hard for you then.
However.
I'll be camouflaged within the crowd.
All right. Excellent. Okay.
All right. Well, I just want to say my friend Davin was posting, and I just want to say thank you for showing up.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so bad at reading the comments, but I just saw one, and I was like, oh, there.
Us too, and we didn't know you
not used
could
to it.
scroll back last time. It was all happening so fast, and then somebody told us you could just scroll up and down. I was like, how
you could read them all.
Yeah.
We're learning.
That's okay. We're gay. We're not technologically advanced people, so.
There, your friend said, of course. So there you go. All right, well, make sure all your friends watch it because it's going to be on the IGTV. So, yeah.
Awesome. Oh, so this is being saved?
It is.
Oh, shit. We surprised
I
you.
take back everything. I take it all back. I love the shots. Perfect.
Too late. Listen, they asked for us to be our authentic selves. So you can't ask a bunch of queers to be their authentic selves and not have a little bit of worry, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the risk. It's the risk you take. So.
That's right. The risk of good theater. Okay, we love you, honey. I'm going to let you go because I'm going to call. One of our kids just graduated, so I'm going to put her on the spot. Carly Jones, are you out there in this hemisphere at all? Where are you? She should be peeking on me. Listen, Diamond, my Carly, this is the last time I'm going to say it because she's going to request you as a friend and you guys are going to meet, okay? Because you're kind of like soulmates, and I know this. And how long has this been going on? 7 years? 7 years I've been trying to hook you up, right?
Yep.
Carly, get on in here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make Carly request you on Instagram, and you follow her back, and you be our baby's
I
friend.
promise.
Okay, good. Then free lunch for you. Okay, Carly, buzz in because I don't know how to do it any other way, darling. I want to say hi to you.
Thank you for coming on, Diamond. It's so great seeing you again. Well, firstly, because I missed the last one.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm so glad you're here to mediate us because I was watching the show before and Jude was just all over the place. So thank God.
Right?
Thank God there's someone to keep these two messes on track.
You're both amazing.
Yes, exactly. Okay, love you, baby.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Mwah, mwah.
Mwah, mwah.
Oh, is it still going?
It is still going.
Yay.
Okay.
I don't know how to get you off.
Oh, now
I'm
you're
like
going to
a
be on
cold
with
sore.
Carly.
Yay.
Yay.
This is a happy accident. Diamond, this is Carly. Carly, this is Diamond.
Our first introduction.
Yeah. So are you the mysterious relative that lives in Hamilton?
Hamilton, I am. I'm the mysterious relative that ended up Hamilton thanks to these beautiful people.
I must say, huh?
I was going to say she knew that's where the party was at, so.
It's true. They taught me well.
So Carly is just finished. Oh, love. Is it design? I don't know. Is it? Well, it's definitely design. Is it design management or
Fashion management, technically.
okay?
Close, but yeah, not quite design completely, but fashion management. So a great,
So does that
beautiful
mean you're
freaking
gonna
world.
are you gonna be making some of my outfits or?
Possibly, honestly. Uncle Jude's been trying to convince me to get down to wardrobe at the shop forever, so you never know where you might see me next.
Oh, amazing.
Uncle Jude
Maybe
does a
we can
great way of
redo the
pulling
whiskey
all
bar.
their people down to the Shaw Festival. I think he's trying to get all the family there.
That's right. I'm hoping maybe they'll name one of the buildings after us one day. You know, you get enough Joneses working there, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, because our
That'd be
Simon,
amazing.
like Simon, who works in the green room with us, he's our nephew, Carly's cousin, and actually, the green room crew now is 3/4 queer. Isn't that fantastic? We're the queerest,
Oh, there you
probably the queerest crew at the Shaw
I think
Festival.
so.
go. That's amazing.
It is. Yeah, so Carly, I mean, you did school when you were younger, but then you got a job in the industry, so she
Yes.
left. We couldn't fault her because she got a job in the industry,
Yeah.
but she makes bras and the like, don't you, love?
I do, yeah. So it's shapewear essentially. It's like a back smoothing bra. So it's like a tank top and bra all in one. So it's a nice little contraption, but it doesn't make you feel like you're being squeezed in like a sausage or something. So
I
I
told
mean,
her,
I could get squeezed with a sausage.
yeah.
I don't mind.
I mean, every once in a while you need an extra squeeze, and that's okay.
I said, you know, it's interesting. Like, I don't know about you, Diamond, but what's like trans like wear for an MTF? Because I know for an FTM, all of our stuff is really expensive. Like Carly, like I have to wear underwear that has a special pouch in it. You know, it costs me $40 a pair. Surely
Well,
you
I
can make
remember
me
even
underwear
when
for
you were
cheaper.
first transitioning and you got your top surgery, you were telling me the contraptions that they were making you wear, how uncomfortable they were and how uncomfortable it made you feel. And honestly, that alone has just made me be like, oh, there's something that can be done here. So hopefully in
Yeah.
the future, we'll see something better that is more reflective of what you guys actually need.
Yeah, because what
Good.
about you, Diamond? Do you have a hard time finding prosthetics or aesthetics?
I think it's interesting because women are already made to kind of, wear, like there's shapewear existing for women already, and there's so much for women to use to make their bodies look in an ideal way or to shape themselves.
Right.
So I feel like cross-dressing from, male to female, there's a lot of stuff out there already, whereas there wasn't much consideration, for and FTM rather,
Yeah,
where there's I've heard of people with like the band that they have to wear and how uncomfortable that can be,
yeah,
and I think that I think there's a lot to be done for tucking in terms of like comfort levels if you want to hide some things on the lower end.
yeah.
I think there's still, I'm sure there's products out there, but I know a lot of people who use pretty uncomfortable things like tape. So I'm sure there's always room for improvement, and especially accessibility to these garments by not making them so expensive.
Yeah,
Right?
that's what I find. Like the cis male underwear came out with almost exactly the same kind of underwear as like FTM underwear, right? It's like a ball separator. Like you put your sack in one, and they're like $19, and it's like I just need that much more fabric. Like, why is it from 19 to 40? So. I just,
Yeah.
I'm not pressuring you, Carly and Diamond, but you're both designers and there's a niche market that needs to be filled there. You're both in the same city. Anyway.
Well, you never know. Collaboration or something could happen. But, it's so true. Things like this are what are going to make the change in the long run. That's why it's so important to kind of get this exposure. And it's great, like you guys were saying earlier, that the Shah has given you guys this platform and the ability to kind of talk about it. Because a lot of people aren't even thinking about it. And that's a shame. It is a whole market that's totally underrepresented.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's true.
it is. And when I think of the financial cost of everything, people go, oh, surgery's covered, everything's covered. Well, it's not. My testosterone isn't covered. All the needles aren't covered. All of the undergarments, which is a big thing, you know, if you need to bind if you're an FTM and you have top dysphoria. That's just the way it goes. You'll pay anything, right? And people know that. So that's the complicated part of the market that we're in now. That needs to change. But I think it's also people's perception that they think, oh, everything's for free. Like my psychologist appointment cost me $1,350, right? So when people see, you know, my trans sisters out on the streets, working the streets, and they think, oh, what's going on there? It's, you don't have that money to change your ID. You even need money to change your ID, right? Because $135, change your name, $135 to change your gender. And then all the back and forth, I had to get a lawyer to stamp that to be okay. So literally
Hundreds
like
of dollars.
thousands of dollars. Drop the mic right there.
The camera had it with that. It was like
$1,000 would make me drop a mic too, honestly.
Yeah.
That nobody thinks about.
Yeah.
That's why we're glad that you grew up and saved your own money and went back to college, love.
And so proud.
You did it all on her own. She paid for school all on her own.
Yep.
Hey,
Sure
so
did.
great.
It's supposed to show. Sometimes it takes a little longer, but you can do it, right? You just have to be willing to keep at it, and it will come.
Exactly.
It's
absolutely. And all in good time. And she got a lot of experience in the industry, which probably, did that help you with school?
It did, honestly. I think it made me more interested when I went back the second time. Like I said, when I went the first time, I was more just into like, oh, I'm in Toronto. Let me, you know, live it up. Living clean kind of
I remember.
City life.
Yeah. So being actually in the industry and seeing it from the inside and then learning about everything through school just kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I was like, ooh, lots of changes that need to be done within this industry. And I really hope that I can help make that change. So we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
Amazing. I'm so proud of you. And what was your grade point average?
I did end with a 4.0, but
you did.
I was never that student before, but it can happen.
You know, I have to tell this story about Carly. When Carly was like 3, I took her to Happy Ralph's, right, to look at all the animals and everything. And we walked down by the river because she wanted to see this duck, and her siblings were with us. And so we were at the edge of the river, and the kids wanted to go in. So I was like, okay, I had them sit on this little log, and I was like, I'll take your sandals off, and you just go for a wee walk in the water. So I was leaning down in front of them. Carla's like 3, and I take her one sandal off, and I look up, and just as I look at her, she goes like this, all sneaky, and she put her other foot to me and pushed me, and because I was crouching, I fell backwards into the river. But from that moment on, love, I honestly never worried about you. Like, not a lick. Like, I just always knew with that sassiness and that little, I was like, at 3, oh, girl, you were going to be fine. Exactly.
Well, there's been a few experiences with you guys where I had to turn that fire on. I'll always remember, I'm surprised you didn't mention the party you let me throw at your house so graciously when I was 16. I had
it was your 18th.
Wait a minute. 18th.
Yes.
I'm not sure. I think
I didn't let you drink at 16.
No, we did not.
18th birthday party, and they let me have friends over, but I had it kind of got out, and it turned into a bit of a rager. And it got to a point where their window got smashed, and I had to go down and kick some butt. So I went downstairs and kicked everybody out of their place real quick because I was like, "There's no way you're about to disrespect the most beautiful people I know. This is not happening." So,
which we thought was hilarious, Diamond, because we were like, oh, it was just the one kid she kept out of a party that threw a pot through our window, and it was done, Yeah. And so we didn't feel like she needed to kick anybody out. No, so as
the troublemaker
drove of kids were running up our stairs,
they just kept coming up the stairs,
and Carly yelling like a maniac. We were going, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, apologizing to everybody on the way out.
Yeah, but that's when I knew as an adult you were totally going to be good.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have to worry about
Yeah.
you. You would figure it out, and you had that inner strength. You would do it.
And you never got bad grades. You had a good balance of fun, and you
average,
rode,
though.
and
Nothing wrong with being average.
That's right. There's
Actually, there isn't anything wrong with that.
no, absolutely not. Okay. Well, we are so proud of you, Carly.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be
I'm
even
so
more
proud of
proud
you.
when Diamond Hyman's your best friend.
Yeah, y'all are
I
going
mean,
to hang
Jesus.
out. That's what's going to happen now.
I don't think it's a very COVID appropriate conversation.
Oh, that's
Especially
true.
recorded, but we'll talk later.
We're allowed
Yeah.
5 people in.
this.
Yeah, 5 people in your backyard. Yeah, isn't this how you all
Communicate.
communicate now? Your generation.
Not so
I said it.
publicly, though.
Not publicly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. We're on with loads of people.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Well, Carly, I'm going to post because you have a great Instagram page, just Jonesin for Beauty. You should see the makeup she does, Diamond.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Don't let the design
love to
fool
see
you. The makeup's fabulous. And she's not posted anything on her thing for a while. So now that I've said it, it's holding her feet to the
Yeah,
fire.
putting some pressure on. Here you go.
All right. And I'm going to
I
tag
expect
you,
new
Diamond
material.
Hyman.
Pardon?
I can tag you, Diamond Hyman, eh?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
I expect new makeup looks every
Oh
Tuesday.
boy, I better get to the work.
I expect to be a model for your shapewear. I just
Turning
Bring
it
it on.
all out, bringing everything. You're gonna bring in the
Yeah.
designs too.
Look at you could be a faux queen, right? That's a thing, isn't it, Diamond? Faux queens.
I
Faux
tried
queen.
to drag makeup once before. I will say it was a challenge and I was not successful. So it took me about 7 hours, I think. And I don't even think it was like nearly as beautiful as Diamond looks right now. I was like, wow.
You need my like my what's it called? What's the not Darwinian, those like old cavemen brow bones,
Oh, Neanderthal.
Oh, yeah.
Neanderthal. Yeah, I have like
Yeah.
really deep set eyes, so this is all an illusion, baby.
My dear.
Okay, well, we better get off because I think we're the only ones interested in listening to ourselves now. I've gone way over, but the Shaw Festival knows who I am. Or they do now. We love you both very much.
So much so.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
Thank you.
And congratulations to the both of you.
Yes.
For you being you, darling, and for you being you, darling.
Oh, thank
We'll
you.
get together soon.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
I'm going to figure out how to turn this off. Love you too.
Yeah,
Bye.
we'll be here for another hour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And we should say thank you to everyone that was watching and all of these things too. Like there's protocol here, right?
Okay.
There's a
Yes.
thing.
Thank you to everyone who was watching. No, we really appreciate it. For Pride, it's one of those things. Just remember that Pride is a celebration of a protest. And never forget that. We don't hang our flags just to see the flags hung. We hang our flags for the gay or the queer kid that isn't out yet, that's thinking of jumping the bridge. Right? They see that flag, things change. All right, so fly your freak flags high.
Yeah.
Okay, we love you.
Night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thanks,
Bye,
Shaw
good night.
Festival.
Bye.
Thank you.